the Coliseum in Oakland, our tribute to the coach, the John Madden Legacy Game. I'm Brandon Gaudin here to take you through the proceedings, and coming up, we're going to tell the story of a man who was truly larger than life and whose impact on the sport of football certainly is going to live on for decades and decades to come. Now, we've assembled a couple of rosters featuring some of Coach's favorite players from both yesterday and today, and Coach himself will be on the sidelines for both squads, trying to motivate his guys to victory. And I'm joined now by my good friend Charles Davis. CD, your thoughts on John Madden and what he meant to the sport he loved so much?
For me, Brandon, it's the word joy. He brought that to the game of football, brought the game to so many people. He stayed involved his entire life. And moving forward, when you think of football, you're always going to think John Madden.
The Coliseum back to its original 70s glory. What a scene in the East Bay. And we're underway in the John Madden Legacy Game. So it's the NFC stars who will get the ball first. And Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL and then in the NFL in the early 70s. Coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice, because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And, you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative years.
Yeah, he grew up over Daly City with tries for Rice, intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. Well, I wonder if someone's down there checking on the head coach right now because he might be in a little bit of shock after what just transpired. Instead of a lengthy opening drive to deal with, his guy stepped up and stole that drive away. Momentum on their side now. How will they attack on offense?
That throw by Brady incomplete. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Now back to throw, and it's complete to Antonio Gates. Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st-round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp. Actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles, you know, we were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles, with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Norm Van Brocklin coached with the Falcons, he coached with the Vikings. And was there during that time. I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching, combining all that together, and that man being a football coach. So in 1960, began his coaching career at a small college south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach, the guy that throw it around pretty well.
And he is into the end zone for an AFC touchdown. Marcus Allen, a 3-yard touchdown run, and the AFC has taken the early lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 AFC. That time a 6-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. There's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The NFC offense coming out here. And you know, Charles, Coach Madden always said that if he had one drive to win a game, then he had to pick a quarterback. He would pick Kenny Stabler, but I think if you asked him to omit any of his Raiders players, there's a good chance the guy he'd select would be Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is always smiling. He's always laughing. He's always talking to someone. He remembers that it's a game, and if it's a game, you should have fun.
And Brandon, that always reminds me of a great movie line where one of the players was telling the coach, every time I say it's a game, you say it's a business. And every time I say it's a business, you say it's a game. With Coach, it was always a game.
Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, 1967, Brandon, Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point.
The NFC with the football here to begin the second quarter. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 48 yards rushing for him now in his first 2 carries of the ballgame.
Now that was a big run. It takes him all the way down to the 1-yard line, and that'll shake the confidence of any defense. So when they're looking for a little bit of support now, looking at their defensive coordinator, if I'm him, I dial up some pressure. I just go after him, because otherwise you're still playing back on your heels, and that's not going to help your defense at all.
On 2nd down, Favre. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that will lead to a 3rd and goal.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackled him for a loss.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. He couldn't get the ball away on 4th and goal. And this stout AFC defense able to come away with a goal line stand. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in, but I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. On the toss, here's Allen. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. Charles, you talked about John Madden and the Raiders going on a ride. Well, try these numbers on for size. So 10 seasons as a head coach, the Raiders won their divisions. Allen hit, he lost the football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
The NFC heading back out. Hall of Famer Randy Moss, a part of this offense. And Coach Madden, boy, he always appreciated the ferociousness with which number 84 attacked the football in the air.
As Randy Moss says, just chunk it up there, dog, and I'll go get it.
And, Coach, boy, did he ever go get it. Over 15,000 receiving yards, 156 touchdowns. And how about this? From his rookie year of 1998 until 2009, those were his prime seasons, right? He led the league in touchdowns 5 times, but even more so, He showed us all how to go up and get it. Great body control. No one's ever done it better playing the ball in the air.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's brought down. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
To throw is far. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. Randy Moss there to make the grab. And the NFC just an extra point away from tying up this game. But there was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And that is one, no doubt, that may come back to haunt them because the PAT tied it. They didn't need to go for 2.
I keep searching for an explanation. I know it's quick right here. I think I can search for the next year and not come up with anything that absolutely works. Kick the point, man. Kick the point. I don't get it.
Well, the AFC offense heading back out. You know, Charles, Coach really loved to utilize his tight ends in the passing game. You think about Dave Casper, Hall of Famer for those great Raider teams. And I think he saw a lot of Dave Casper in an all-Madden staple, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez is the type of tight end I think everyone's looking for. He's the guy that can make some big plays from that tight end position. Let me tell you, you better make sure you have him accounted for on every play.
And that's exactly right, because Dave Casper, he could shred defenses down the middle of the field. And that's exactly what Tony Gonzalez did in his entire career. A 14-time Pro Bowl selection. Only Tom Brady has more. There are 6 guys in the 15,000-yard receiving club. He's the only tight end in there. Tony Gonzalez, every snap you had to know where he was because he could make plays short, medium, and long, and often put the ball in the end zone.
Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their 2nd as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. This taken in at the goal line. So we're at halftime of the John Madden Legacy game, and now we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. Fielded right around the 8. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The offense for the AFC set to go now. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42, he just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember, he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. That way, he was simple to understand, yet insightful for viewers. And he did with that big personality that he had, one that connected with everyone.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now he dumps this off over the middle. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately would go on to be one of the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
Influential not just in us listening to them. Remember, they went on and called 8 Super Bowls together. But how they put together kind of the template that all of us broadcasters follow now. Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two paired together, Pat Summerall, short, concise, to the point, and turned it over to Coach Madden to fill in all the big details.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now Favre. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. Randy Moss, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the NFC has taken the lead. So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they turn that halftime deficit into a third-quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. The drive starts with a run by Allen. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. So through 3 quarters of the John Madden Legacy game, back now here on EA Sports. It's the NFC with the lead and the football as well as we start quarter number 4. They keep it on the ground. Allen again. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The AFC thus far on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Forced out to his left. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later in his career. He spent nearly 3 decades in the booth all told. And not only was he beloved for his mannerisms, we know that, but he was an innovator as well.
Yeah, Brandon, you talk about things like the telestrator, which totally became identified with him. And now
a fumble. Brady loses the football. And it's scooped up by the NFC. And he will take this back. A fumble return for an NFC touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room where they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Extra point by Anderson, up and go. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The offense for the AFC set to go now. On first down, Brady. This is caught. It's Brown. Now, CD, we did get a little ahead of ourselves talking about John Madden, the broadcaster in the 90s and 2000s, because there was another product during that time period that he became quite famous for, and it's something that you and I know a little bit about, and that's the video game that bears his name. Originally John Madden Football when it was first released back in the late 1980s, and now known the world over simply as Madden.
And Coach saw this originally as a way to teach the game of football. The early designs were for a 7-on-7 game, but he said no chance. He would not sign off on it. He wanted to be as realistic as possible. He told him, call me when it's 11-on-11, and he got his wish.
Yeah, after that debut, Madden the video game continued to pick up steam through the 90s in a big way, and John himself, many will remember, was a commentator for the series for many years. And now here we are in the 2020s, and this game has sold somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 million copies. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. They'll go again with Sanders. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Well, this has certainly been special. And, Charles, as we wind down toward the end of this John Madden legacy game, your final thoughts?
Well, let's face it, partner, it's going to be hard to overestimate the impact that he made, not just on the sport of football, but on his family, friends, players, co-workers, and in the lives of millions of Americans who watched him. There will never be another John Madden.
And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I did like his decision-making there to make sure they picked up something instead of forcing a throw. Now they've got more manageable play coming up to try and pick up the 1st down, and don't rule out the possibility that he just keeps it and runs again.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Favre dancing to his left. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
He came through well with a nice pass breakup there. Fortunate that he was on the spot. He's the only guy left to prevent the 1st down.
They're going on 4th down. It's Favre. He'll fire a desperation throw for the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They start the drive with a give to Allen. And that won't help much. Only a yard on 1st down. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. The bottom line is...
So it's a win here for the NFC. Just an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. And before we go, one final message. And for all of us at EA Sports, this one's for you, Coach.
I just say this, I thank you all very much. This has been the sweetest ride of them all.
Let's go do this thing, baby. We gotta get a couple first downs out.
It's Time to decide how you're going to make your Madden NFL. Become Coach One. Feeling a little rough? Head on over. Head back to the brightest lights of them all and take the field in Super Bowl 56.
Something about Benz looking cute. That's honest. Her and her friends, big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the. Ain't no way somebody daddy ain't gonna give her the spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stairs to a man's. Now salute the general. TGLX got plans. Yeah. Damn.